first week of Corona Cup 2 Electric Boogaloo over here in Austin, Texas. With me today, this is Mark out of Austin, and with me today is James, also out of Austin. How's it going, James?
Hey, doing good. Excited for a good matchup here.
Yeah, so we've got what looks like a pretty interesting game coming to you guys today. It's Cameron, who you may have recognized from the finals of the first Corona Cup, going up against Charles, who actually also did very, very well in the first Corona Cup, and is these guys are both some of the best players Austin has to offer. So
Right, yeah. Charles finished 4-1, just missed a cut just due to MOV on the first one.
yeah, that's right. So let's talk about lists for just a second here.
Yep, looks like they're getting ready. So I'll talk a little bit about Cameron's
Yeah,
list.
go ahead.
Sure. So first off, you've got five Academy pilots. They're there to do the blocking. They're to do a little bit of swarm. The big piece of his list is Chiranu. He's running Ruthless, so he's going to be able to change some of his dice to hits by giving out damage to the Academy pilots, which actually want to die as much as possible, especially when getting shot at. Because Admiral Sloan's on there. Whenever one of these Tie fighters dies at range 0 to 3, the ship that killed it's going to take those 2 stress, which is pretty rough. Especially looking at like Poe or Jess, one of these aces. And then of course Dauntless on the Decimator lets him do those actions in case he does bump. He's also got the three um, debris, so those are going to help create stress. Because those Tie fighters are going to get rerolls anytime they're attacking another ship that's stressed.
Yeah, that's and as it's not too dissimilar. I mean, it's almost exactly the list he brought to the finals of Corona Cup 1, but I think Dauntless is new here. And he was
Right? Yeah,
having a little bit of trouble with bumping in some of his games in the first Corona Cup, so I think that's a good addition. Charles, on the other hand, bringing something completely different from what he brought to Corona Cup 1. He's running a resistance list, which we don't see a lot from him. So he's got Poe Dameron with Outmaneuver, R4 Astromech, which makes his 1s and 2 moves all blue, and integrated S-foils, of course. And he's got Jessica Pava bringing the once per turn offensive or defensive rerolls as the pilot ability with just S-foils. Rose Tico in the pod with Crackshot. Rose also getting rerolls for every friendly ship in her firing arc when attacking or defending. And then what feels like just kind of a solid bit of filler with that Red Squadron expert with a Crackshot and integrated S-foils. So just kind of a pretty straightforward, beefy list here with Poe as an outmaneuver flanker.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good matchup. The outmaneuver will do a lot of work on the Tie fighters. Unfortunately, it's not. Hopefully, shouldn't do too much to Chiranu with that bow tie.
Yeah, the problem, of course, well, even aside from the bow tie, the problem is Chirpy just doesn't have any agility to start with.
True.
So you can outmaneuver him all you want. What are you going to get from it?
Sure.
On the other hand, the problem is too that you start killing those tie. I mean, we can all imagine Poe drops in behind a TIE fighter, focus, pilot ability, stress to target lock, blows a TIE fighter out of the water. It looks beautiful, but then Admiral Sloan double stresses him.
Exactly. He does exactly what he's supposed to do, and he eats 2 stress for the effort.
And he took a stress from his pilot ability, so now he's lit 3 stress on Poe, and that's not a happy Poe.
Right. Let's see how. It'd be very interested to see if Charles does move into some of those spots where he's taking stress to get better shots.
Yeah. So there's basically 2 ways. I think Cameron's approach to this game is pretty simple. He's just got to line up his TIE fighters and start blowing up X-wings. Charles is the one who has to dance a little bit and make kind of a big decision. There's 2, I think, general ways you can approach a Sloan list. You can try to just eat the Sloan stress and kill all of the chaff. Just kill all of the Academy pilots and just mow through it, right? Or you can try to evade the TIE fighters and blow up the Sloan carrier first and hope you have enough left by the end to clean up all of the remaining TIE fighters.
Yeah, enough firepower and enough time.
Yeah, that's a good point. Time could be a big deal here, and it looks like they're getting going.
It looks like Brandon's Cameron is looking to take control of the our bottom half of the board here. Looks
Yeah.
like probably gonna bank in, and he's gonna look to take advantage of this bottom half of the board.
Yeah, and it looks like Chirpy is kind of set up to sit kind of behind everybody. Meanwhile, you can see Charles is setting up to kind of just come in on the center of the board here. But Poe a little bit farther away from everybody else, definitely looking to take him a little bit more along the outskirts. Maybe even come up behind some of these TIE fighters and start taking good shots on Chirpy. On the other hand, you gotta remember, this Chirpy is what? Isn't this a 17 health Chirpy?
Right. He's no, he didn't. He dropped the whole upgrade to get.
He did.
The 16.
Right. Okay. So he's just a 16 health decimator. And with Dauntless, he's going to be reinforcing pretty much every turn. I'm not that good at math, but do you want to think about how many shots Charles is going to have to take at Chirpy to take him down?
It's a multiplication of numbers.
Let's see. If you do about 2 damage per shot, with dice variants and rerolls, 16 health, that's going to be 8 shots.
Yeah.
And you got to take all of those. So that's maybe 2 full rounds of shots with everybody, 3 full rounds of shooting probably into Chirpy, and you have to deal with the TIE fighters that whole time. That's going to be rough.
Yeah,
but yeah, so we
Dauntless is because he wasn't getting that reinforced action as much as he wanted.
I think in that finals game, he basically, between bumping and clouds and everything else, and having to constantly react to those Jedi, I don't think he got an action with Chirpy after the first round of movement. Here, he's not going to have that problem. And he moves after everybody but Poe, so he's going to have pretty good information on where to reinforce. Charles, though, doing kind of what we talked about. I think they need to remove those templates there. Hey, can you go over and click the button to get rid of those templates? Those rulers, if they are not already doing that.
I'm gonna have to get off of change color.
Sure. That was a little weird. Okay, perfect. That looks much better. So Charles bringing most of his list in basically straightforwardly. You can tell he's set up to be able to squeeze just between those rocks. And then he's doing with Poe what we talked about. He's going to swing around the outside, try not to take too much damage. Poe is just about the best ship he has for the end game here. If he manages to sacrifice those 3 ships in that formation there, save Poe to the end, and have maybe just 2 or 3 ties left, I mean, not only is Poe capable of soloing a couple of ties by himself, but he's also more expensive than 3 ties, I believe.
Right. Each of those ties are coming in at 22 and Poe's at 68. So it takes 3 ties would be 66. So you're still up on points there.
Right. And with his upgrades, I think he's 78 points. This Poe is, I think
76. Yeah.
76 points. So yeah, this Poe is worth more than 3 full health Academy ties, and that's something that Charles has to be thinking about when he's approaching this game. If he manages, even if he loses all of the rest of his list, if he's got a healthy Poe and he takes 2 ties and Chirpy with them, he's golden as long as he doesn't go below half.
And that's one of the really cool things about this new tournament is we're not basing on MOV. 4 wins and in.
This tournament is based on system open approaches, which I'm always a huge fan of.
Right, winning a game should be the number one goal.
Right. And there's nothing worse, I think, than kind of coming into I shouldn't say that, but there are a few things worse than coming into a final round, knowing you need a specific level of win to get into the cut, and then going up against a Swarm or an Imperial Aces list and going, it's just physically impossible for me to get the kind of MOV win I need here.
Exactly.
But thankfully, we don't have any of that here. The cut will just be X number of wins. I believe it's 4 wins to get into the cut. So anyone who's 4-1 and 5-0 will get into the cut here. So you don't have to worry too much about it, but you do have to worry about it just in terms of just winning the game. Not every match is a tabling.
Charles actually turning in here.
A little bit earlier than I would have thought. I expected kind of a 2 straight, 3 straight, and then boost to the left here.
Right
but
between the cloud and the debris there.
Yeah, and that would have given him a very clear line to just 4 straight and get behind some of these ties. This doesn't give him a lot of options, so I'm not sure what he's doing. He may have just been thinking that the fight is happening very, very quickly here. We're already, what is this, the second round of movement, and we're already getting shots. These players being very aggressive. And so he may have been concerned that Poe may have been sitting out on the sidelines for too long. But Poe definitely not getting a shot, so we're going to see Jess, I believe, take a shot here.
Yeah, it looks like the Hail Mary either obstructed or the range 3 unobstructed.
Yeah, I think you take that range 3 unobstructed. I mean, that's going to be a solid shot. Even Rose might have that shot.
Right, yeah, you get follow-up shots.
Yeah. And, let's talk about ships that Charles would be okay being stressed. Rose does not give a damn. She gets her rerolls anyway. Jess also somewhat okay being stressed because she gets her rerolls. Poe is really the one you don't at all want to be stressed. So if Charles has a good approach here, what he might be trying to do is soften up ties with Poe and then finishing them off with a ship that can eat that stress a little bit more effectively.
Looks like he is going to take the...
No, that's 4 dice for range 3.
Okay. Oh, so it's not obstructed. Bottom.
Well, that's not a great start. That is Jess. He is near 2 ships. He can re-roll 2 dice. Looks like he's choosing to do that. And we'll see what he gets out of it. That looks much better, doesn't it? Spend that focus, 3 hits. At the end of the day, there's a lot of talk about dice and mattering or not, but, you get the dice that you pay for with the list you bring, and Jess is a perfect example of that. And I think Charles here is kind of getting what he wanted out of that first engagement. Oh, I was literally about to say he's making Cameron spend that focus, but no, he is putting a damage on that tie instead.
With 2 more shots coming in, he's I'm gonna imagine that Cameron's almost okay losing that ship to put a couple stress as they come into the first real engagement, kind of knowing where one of these guys is going to go. And he may take. Let's see if he takes that other damage here. Oh, never mind. There's only 1 hit.
Yeah. That red squadron does not have the same kind of rerolls that Jess has. Rose though might have a shot.
I think they already.
Did they check for that? And Rose doesn't have one.
And we can see going back, the Academy doesn't have Rose. That would be
okay. Yeah. So instead, he's going to pop a shot here. Can't tell which X-wing he's shooting at, but it doesn't matter. Natty's right off the board. These ties not going to be doing real damage at range 3. Okay, so he's focusing on Jess. Jess has already spent her charge. That's a fair decision. But these ties, as always, are going to have a little bit of trouble pushing damage at range 3. It's range 1 and range 2 where that damage really starts stacking, so no real surprise here. Although, as always, Cameron, my mantra on focus tokens is spend it when you got it. And it is a little unfortunate here that Cameron decided to not spend his focus token because he proceeded to not need it later. So that is an unnecessary point of damage he has there.
Exactly.
But none of this is a big surprise. I mean, they're just kind of going in at each other. Charles, I'm still a little concerned about Poe's positioning here. I can't quite tell from the angle. If he does a 3 straight, does he clip that debris?
I think he's clear.
This is where you start rotating the map around, but I don't want to screw with the.
Sure, I can kind of look at it. I if anything catches it, it's gonna be just that little tiny lip. But I think just eyeballing it real close, I think he's gonna be good.
What I could see here from Poe is like a 3 or 4 straight barrel roll into boost. That gives him a lot of viability to still get behind these ties and go in on Chirpy while being very protected just in case these 2 ties on the north end decide to one hard turn into the right. I can't say I would expect them to do that, but Cameron, we were talking earlier about how expensive Poe is, right? And how Charles has to be aware of that going in, but Cameron has to be aware of that too. If he manages to take Poe off the board, and let's be honest, he can take Poe off the board in one round of shooting if he gets a good block. That could be game right there.
Yeah, I think he can get some shots in on Poe here. I don't think he can get a block, so um, I think we'll probably see Cameron looking for this turn rather than next because Poe's a little bit squirrely. I'd expect some pretty fast maneuvers to try to get maybe a block on Jess, with the other guys coming around from the edge.
Yeah. It would be interesting if Cameron decided to he's got the 3 banks coming out from these side ties. That just makes sense. I'm wondering if we're going to see him shooting some of these central ties forward, looking for a block.
Yeah, maybe all the way forward and getting some range 2 and
right
2 shots into Jess or Rose.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, he's coming in real hard, looking for the block and also looking to get shots in on Poe. You can clearly see that he knows where the points are here. Oh, there we go. He knows where the points are here, and he's looking to get them. He's going to barrel roll that tie though, looking for that block. I don't know. I can't. That's the one with damage on it, isn't it? The one that he's barrel rolling.
No, the one that he just moved into the cloud. This one with 1 damage.
Okay. And that one's going to be strained, the one that just hit the cloud there. That's a little unfortunate.
Could kill pretty easily.
Yeah, and that's the damaged one too. So no action, strained, 2 health, TIE Fighter.
And Charles that one's got a big target on his back now.
And Charles doing what Rebel Resistance players do: 1 start straight to victory here. Jess unblocked, Rose unblocked. The Red Squad veteran will be blocked by that barrel roll. So if that's what Cameron was looking for, he certainly got it.
He's got at least 4 shots already if he wants them.
Right. And see, here's the thing. Like, Jess has to think about this now, right? If Jess does what would normally be ideal and just pops a range 1 fully modified shot into that strained TIE Fighter, Jess has 2 stress and a bevy of TIE Fighters shooting at her.
Right. Yeah, then your target becomes Jess immediately.
We're continuing to see just Poe kind of come in here.
It's like, yep, there's the barrel roll. Same thing. That's not a good spot where you'd want Poe to be taking a double stress.
Yeah. But all right, so he's going to go ahead and stress to take that focus and get those actions. And he's just getting Poe in the fight here. And I can't say that that's necessarily the wrong call. He's going to take a shot. Oh, this is Poe shooting, right?
Yes.
Do you spend that focus? He's spending it. He's just going for it. And that is a dead tie and a triple stressed Poe. Ooh.
Now you've got Poe in an awkward spot now.
Yeah. And the worst thing about that is So he's triple stressed Poe, which, is not, I mean, it's just objectively bad, right? His saving grace is there's not a lot of good shots on him this turn. But what it means is he's triple stressed Poe, and Jess is still going to get that.
Yeah. There looks like a hit into red.
Yeah. I mean, Jess can still polish off that other TIE fighter.
She did.
Yeah, that is an extremely dead TIE fighter right there. And Charles ultimately Charles is doing what he needs to do. He just polished off 2 TIE fighters right there. So Cameron is rapidly losing his ships.
Yep, stress or not, if you don't have the firepower to punish him for it.
Yeah. And the other thing is that Jess did not need to spend her charge to get that result.
Right, so she's going to have some modifiers on defense here.
Yeah, if she's in range 1 of Poe, actually she might have a reroll of 3 dice here, which could matter at range 3. So actually a very risky but very strong start from Charles.
And with 2 more shots and possibly on red here, he could actually take another TIE fighter off.
Or at least soften one up. Yeah. Next turn's going to be a little rough, though. He's getting what he needs here, but next turn could be very difficult. Unfortunately, whiffing with that red squad, that block from Cameron turning out to be effective, although I think he lost that TIE fighter because of that barrel roll. And then Rose shooting as well. Probably just going to spend that focus token, yeah. Pop 2 damage, 2 evades. He's fine. I think Cameron probably did not want to lose that second TIE fighter. I mean, ultimately, he would have preferred to just lose the 1 to triple stress Poe, but I think Cameron's still getting what he wants here. Charles's list is somewhat disabled. He's going to be taking a lot of damage very quickly here. And Cameron just needs to make this turn of shooting and the next turn of shooting count as much as humanly possible. So he's rolling in here. He's going to have rerolls because of that stress. That's going to be a hit crit coming in on Jess. I expect this to be Jess.
2 dice.
Hit.
Let's see if he gets the reroll.
He's going to choose not to. He's saving that reroll for future shots.
Right, make sure he doesn't take a crit into the hole.
Right. So these rerolls continuing to do good work for Cameron, turning a hit blank into a hit twice now. Charles spending the charge this time. Yeah, I think that was the right call. He has more dice to make it work now. Okay, but he doesn't get anything from it. Oh, that's really unfortunate. So there's another shield off of Jess. And there's going to be 1 more range 3 into Jess here from that TIE fighter. Ooh, that one didn't go as well. He's only got the 1 reroll. It's going to be 1 hit. Jess has a pretty decent chance to evade this, but doesn't. 3 shots, 3 shields off of Jess. Ooh.
Just 1 point, just one hit away from half on her. So it was 26 points, equal up to one of the TIE fighters. Gets him back in the scoreboard.
Yeah, let me update the board here for this turn.
Yeah, we got blue and brown dead, and 3 shields off of Jess.
Yeah, this, like I said, that I think he's starting to do what he needs to do. This turn probably went to Charles a little bit more than Cameron. That disastrous first shot from Poe, just taking that TIE fighter right off the board, was extremely unfortunate. Outmaneuver really coming into play there on that shot. But Cameron, this turn is Cameron's turn to win this game. Poe has
So
nowhere to go.
right, especially I mean the only thing I could think of, I mean, so I would probably see Cameron doing the three bank with the red,
Yeah.
uh, getting up in there,
Mm-hmm.
which really only gives Poe room to run. I
Right.
mean, he's gonna have to bank out.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm Poe, I think I just won straight. You gotta clear that stress. Maybe you one bank and hit that gas cloud, but then you might be strained, and that's a big deal. That small change to gas clouds actually pretty big for some ships, and Poe's one of them. Jess definitely going to be one banking. Need to clear that stress, but also need shots. And the red squad, Rose probably one straighting or one banking. The question is, do you K turn with that red squadron here?
I thought he actually might have done it last turn.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been so close in formation, one of those re-rolls, but absolutely. If you think that red and the yellow are going to go fast to get up in on Poe,
Yeah.
I definitely think the K turn here going to
Um,
give him a range one shot into one of them.
they're TIE fighters.
But
There's a limit on how slow they can go.
right,
They're going to be going
but
at least two, yeah. So, got the two banks coming in here. I mean, there's no reason why not to.
but if if you get that red
Whoa.
take after the stress,
Was that
triple stress.
was that
If
evade
the
intentional?
uh,
On that front tie, he
oh,
took an
Lord,
evade. Hmm. That seems odd. If I were Cameron, I'd be wanting to put all of my attention here into killing Poe.
right, focus definitely seems
Preferred.
did leave the one straight open for Poe.
He did. Not that Poe really cares if he bumps or not. In fact, I would want to keep Poe's back as far as possible. But yeah, this is what we're talking about. This is Cameron's turn to win this game. Uh, Charles getting 0 actions this turn, uh, and is going to be in a rough place to push damage. Rack moving and reinforcing front. Probably not going to get a shot on Poe, but no, Poe's going to move. And is that a 2 bank with Poe?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you got to take the chance to take that strain.
Yeah, and that's a problem. He did though. Let's say this: he may have gotten out of Rack's arc, and he definitely got out of one of those Tie Fighters arcs, and he didn't take a strain.
Yeah.
That was a gutsy move, but that might end up working very well for Charles here. On the other hand, that he's going to be taking 2 range 1 shots, I think, from those academies.
Well, one of them's got an evade though.
One of them has an evade, although at least he has a reroll. I think Cameron's going to wish he had taken a focus there. That guy's not even getting shot. He's definitely going to wish he had focused. But Poe forcing him to spend that focus.
Or is he just gonna take it and double stress Poe again?
No, he has to spend the focus. He's lost too many ties to play that game. But the dice coming in for Charles a little bit here, maybe starting to get him out of this hole. Certainly, when you need that Hail Mary and you get that 4 hits, that can be significant. But it wasn't enough to polish off that TIE fighter, so we'll see what Cameron rolls in return.
So this is Chiranu.
Chiranu does have Poe, just barely. And Chirpy's going to do 2 hits and a crit with that reinforce. And that is going to start being very bad for Poe, taking 2 shields right there. Not what you want to see starting off. Jess has a shot. So Jess is going to look to polish off this TIE fighter right here. Does not have a focus, but has as many rerolls as she wants. She's going to spend it.
Two paint here should get it done. Not those paint.
Well, hit crit, but the TIE fighter only has 1 health left. It's not inconceivable. Yeah. Ooh, boy. That is a very dead TIE fighter and a very stressed Jess. So kind of for Cameron here is riding on this this one shot from the red TIE fighter. He really,
hero of the Empire.
yeah, he really needs to do something here to take Poe down to half at least. And we're starting to
Chernu here.
Yeah, we're starting to come in on Chirpy. I mean, he's reinforced. He's not taking a lot of damage from this.
One there.
Yeah. He's not worried about this. So one shield off of Chirpy, he doesn't care. But we've got some more shots coming in. This one's from
Rose. Yep.
Rose at that TIE fighter, getting that reroll, and the TIE fighter proceeding to, let's probably spend that focus and take 1 damage. Or Cameron might just say, you know what, a 1 health TIE fighter versus a 2 health TIE fighter, what's the difference? I need to push some damage, but he's going to spend it.
And he gets crack shot.
And is that in crack shot range? Yes, it is. Okay.
So I guess that's why he basically had to spend it there. Or else take 3 hits.
Yeah. So, and let's talk about this. Charles building a list that has lots of passive mods that happen whether you're stressed or bump. And that is giving him an advantage. Or at least mitigating a lot of what Cameron's trying to do. Ooh.
There's the 1 reroll.
Ah!
Focus token.
If you had that focus token, my friend, you would have...
it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, but that would have been a hit crit through.
Yeah.
Cameron re-rolling his dice. You can tell he wants a little bit more out of them, but my friend, you just need to focus instead of evade. Well, Poe does Poe still have 2 stress tokens? Is that right?
He does.
Yeah. So Poe's still in a little bit of danger.
Extra 2 crits that are missing there off Poe.
Yeah.
That actually, one of those is a direct. That's a huge game changer.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a shot Cameron needed to work, and unfortunately the decisions he made earlier in the turn just did not get it to him. But now the question is, what do we do this turn? I would say Charles is a little bit ahead here.
Right, he's got one of these TIE fighters at 1 health left. Chernu's not been touched much, but you've still got 4 ships on the board who are going to be able to scatter out and then come back in and really put some damage into him. And TIE fighters really can't block anymore from where they're at.
Yeah, and let's talk about this too. The current score is Charles destroyed 77, Cameron destroyed 0. That seems really bad. But 2 of Charles's ships are 1 away from half, and putting both of them at half would give Cameron what? Poe would be 38, Jess 26. That's 64 points. So if Cameron can do 1 more damage to 2 different ships, that puts him within spitting distance of Charles's lead here.
Right.
And they still have half an hour to go, plus 2 additional turns after the time runs out. So this game isn't over, and Rack is finally in the game.
Here, I think we'll see one person finish the other one off here. Whether it's either way, we're moving pretty rapidly.
Yeah. So chat is saying that they're having trouble hearing you.
Okay.
Let me see if I can turn you up here.
Does it sound a little better now?
Let's try that.
Okay.
See if they can start hearing you here.
No.
All right. but not a lot we can do. Apologies if there's if you're having some trouble hearing James. We are continuing to fine tune this a little bit. But just keep letting us know in the chat if you start being able to hear him, or if anything else is something that we can improve. We appreciate your feedback here.
If I need to eat the microphone, we will. If I need to step back, we can do that too.
That sounds right.
So what are we thinking here with the stress ships?
So okay, so Poe is double stressed and Jess is triple stressed. Jess, you know, how many turns are left in this game? Probably enough that it's still worth it to try and get rid of the stress. But at the end of the day, Jess is going to get those rerolls anyway. So I could see Jess just too hard turning here to get at range 1 of Rack and just start pushing damage. Poe could be one banking, thinking similar things. But if I'm Poe, I start running away with that 2 bank to the left. Get out of those TIE Fighter arcs, put that gas cloud behind you, and start clearing your stress. You need to live. The rest of his, those TIE Fighters K-turning, of course. There was never any chance of them doing anything else. They need shots. They need to push damage. That Red Squad veteran just one straighting is a little strange.
Maybe just trying to mess up his arc.
Maybe. Jess deciding to 2 bank out. Start clearing that stress. Does not want to take 1 more damage if she can help it. At least make it difficult.
Poe may be right up beside her.
Poe might. Rose bumps, but does have a friendly ship in that front arc for that reroll. That's all right. That's not the worst.
Sharon, who does that 1 bank, oh, he's gonna huge range 1 shot into Rose there.
Yeah. Who do you bump into though?
Red Squad.
Bumped into Red Squad. Okay, so he's gonna have a good shot on Rose, although he might choose instead. Yeah, I guess I would shoot Rose too. Use Dauntless, take the stress, reinforce front, and just try to blow Rose out of the water.
Yeah, because he could have, depending on where everybody else ends up here, 3 shots on Rose. Who's not your main target, but you know, when you only get 1 shot, then yeah, because Poe's getting out. Ooh, bumped. Don't think it matters. I think he's got.
That's unfortunate. Although you weren't going to take any damage anyway on that Poe, even if you bump, so it's not the end of the world. And then we have these. So we're going to have some interesting shots here this turn. We have Rack coming in, taking a pot shot. Did he rotate his arc?
He must have.
So he rotated his arc and rolled very well there for that art rotate. And it is a direct hit on Poe. Oh no. That is a gamble that paid off very well for Cameron, choosing to rotate that arc instead of reinforce. So Poe down below half now. And that's going to give Cameron some much needed points going up to 38.
Rose 3 hits back into Chiranu.
Yeah. Well, we knew that. He was going to have to eat some damage to do that, and he just eats 3 shields, and he's fine. He doesn't care. What Cameron needs in a way right now is to start spreading some damage out, so it's not just the TIE Fighters eating the brunt of it.
He's got the shot on Poe here.
Yeah. And he's going to take it. He has the rerolls. He needs a little bit more than that. He will get 1 hit, but that's not enough to finish off Poe. That will be enough to do another point of damage. Because he didn't pay for heroic. See, that's why you. Yeah, but that's why you pay for heroic, guys. I mean, I can't. I would rather have heroic than crack shot, but it's round 1. I don't want to get on these lists too badly here.
Well, this is very interesting. 2 hits coming in. He needs 1 at least to get through, and it won't get through.
No, he'll be safe through that gas cloud. That was always going to be a rough go, but with that 1 health left Poe, I can't say I blame him for trying to do it. And apparently they can hear you again, so say hi to everybody.
Hey everybody, I'm back in Audible. So we're looking. I mean, we started that round at 31, 32 minutes. So
Yeah.
we're going to get 5, 6 rounds before we. I mean, total of 8 with the
Yeah.
2 extra.
Nice quick
I
pace of
don't,
play from these guys.
apparently, Chiranu is cloaked.
Cloaked. Don't know what to say about that one.
Does he use the two straight to decloak?
I don't know what that token is, but it is not real.
Double cloaked.
Oh my. 5 agility chirping now. Okay, so this turn, Poe down to just 1 stress, skittering away by the skin of his teeth. He's not going to stress again, though he is still in very real danger of getting killed by a stray shot. Jess still has 2 stress, I believe.
Yeah, I expect her to bank towards the bottom, just gonna continue to get out.
But they definitely can't turn around this turn. And the red squad is in a pretty unfortunate place too. If he turns around with a Talon or a K, he's going through that debris. Rose is just about the only one that can safely turn around this turn, so these ties are still in a pretty decent position to deal some damage.
Right, and if Rose turns around, she's going to lose most of her ability. She shouldn't have any of the friendly ships.
That's
within arc.
a really good point. I don't if she K turns. I think what are the K turns on that pod? Do you know? I'm just wondering, based on the K turns, can she clear rack?
Just the three K.
I don't think that clears rack because of the
angle.
the caddy corner. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think any of Charles's ships can safely turn around this turn, and the only one that can turn around has to double stress to do it. So these ties are still going to have lots of leeway to get some work done for at least 1 more turn. And if you're Cameron, you really need to try and kill something this turn. Your best bet is Poe. That's a ton of points. I mean, if he manages to kill Poe this turn and put 1 health on Jessica Pava, he's winning this game all of a sudden.
The important thing is he's got both of his TIE fighters are stressed, so he's not going to be able to do the moves that he'd like to do to chase Poe.
Yeah.
And get the mods that he wants.
Oh, right. And then Chad is pointing out it's not that he couldn't afford heroic, it's that he chose outmaneuver instead. Which, let's acknowledge, did allow him to one-shot a TIE fighter.
So far, those points have netted him to stress and 22 points.
Yeah, so I don't know about a trade-off overall for this game, but at the very least, it was a deliberate list-building choice, and it has paid off for him.
For matchups, it's obviously going to be a lot more important. Going up against other I6s or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the I1s is not mattering a whole lot.
Right.
Health.
So that TIE fighter 2 banking, hitting that gas cloud, Cameron probably doesn't care. And the other one, again, 2 banking, that was the clear choice there. Clear that stress, get that focus, and try to put some damage in on Poe or Jess.
I'd be very surprised if that red has a shot into Poe here.
Yeah, and again, Poe finally, Poe will not be stressed after this move. Although, here's hoping Poe doesn't bump into Jess. That red squad vet going to 3, or is that Rose here? Whose dial is that? That's the red squad. Oh, yeah. So going to Talon roll. Did that hit the debris?
Doesn't say that it did.
Wow. I am very impressed, Charles. I would have sworn up and down that a Talon roll there would have hit the debris, but he knew better. and he went for it.
Rose will
Rose.
be
Oh, that's very unfortunate there. Rose turning and just clipping that debris. Oh, and taking a crit for the trouble. No shield and a stress on that Rose. Oh. That could be very, very bad because Rose has to go through that the next turn as well.
wow.
And okay, Chirpy booking it a little bit here.
I think definitely trying to get a shot on Poe. I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to be 2 or 3 through a gas cloud. Um,
The problem
Actually-
is you keep your stress, and you don't have any mods against that Poe.
right. But Poe is going to take 3 shots.
I don't know if I'm.
Oh, he's got, yeah, he can barrel roll or boost here. And
Yeah, he can. I don't know. Let's talk about target priority here. Poe is the target that Cameron would most like to take off the board, right? But
right.
do you shoot Poe or do you shoot Pava?
I think now with Poe being behind that debris,
Mm-hmm.
Pava's definitely your shot.
Well, and
Poe,
two of Cameron's 3 shots now have no mods against Poe.
and two of the 3 do have them against Jess, and Jess does not have any mods
Yeah.
because she has no friends.
Right, and actually all 3 do. Because I mean, Rack has a single reroll, Red has a single reroll, and Yellow has a reroll and a focus.
Yep.
And it's not impossible.
We may have lost the chance to get Poe at this point because Poe may not get shot again.
Well, I think, I mean, Rack is in a rough position because of that stress, right? But
Right.
you could 3 hard turn Rack next turn and then 1 bank him and start that gentle circle. And just say, if you come back in to fight, I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
That's not out of the realm of possibility here. So Rack, the other good target for Rack, let's talk about, is Rose, who is stressed and has 1 more damage to get to half. But he's gonna choose to go in on looks like Jess here. No.
Yeah.
Who's he?
4.
Okay, he rolled too many dice here.
So that'd be Rose.
Yeah, so that's going to be 1 damage going through there onto Jess, which does put her below half.
And 2 more shots coming in.
Yeah, although we do have a shot here from the red squad. Charles increasingly having trouble getting shots. And I can imagine, though, Charles is thinking, you want to shoot Rack, right? Rack is getting pretty close to half. Just a couple more damage in there. But that yellow TIE fighter there, 1 more damage gets him off of the board. And that could save Jess. But no, he's going to shoot Rack. He's going to put a hit crit through. Can you get me that crit when it's up?
Absolutely.
Maybe I can see it. No, he's moving it off the board.
It is a direct.
Oh, a direct hit onto Chirpy. All right.
And that is half into Chernu.
No, I think it's 1 more to half.
More.
So, but I mean, 1 more to half on Chirpy is as good as half, really, at the end of the day.
Right. He's going to get those points.
There's at least 3 or 4 more turns left. But let's see what happens here. So Cameron has 2 decent shots into Jess here. Oh no, the double blank. He only has 1 reroll. He's going to spend that focus, but that is range 3. That's just going to be evaded, and with that, Cameron loses his best chance to just take Jessica off the board. It's going to be hit from that second one, though. Maybe he can put another point of damage through, and he does. So
Charles now with 2 ships.
Very, very close to death. And, Jess, not in a great position still. She will clear her final stress this turn. So I'd expect to just see a 2 bank out of her and focus. And just, I mean, really, if you're Jess, you're just trying to survive for the rest of this game. You're
Right,
not going to get your pilot ability. You're not going to get, you're just trying not to lose those points. And Rose, a little disabled here, going to have to hit that debris and just pray you don't roll a crit again and go straight to half by your own doing. But that red squad vet is in a very good position to just 2 bank in, take a focus, and then Poe is in a decent position too to take a 2 bank and really start to slide on in behind these TIE fighters.
Right, especially if Cameron, if he goes all in on Jess here, then he's going to leave himself pretty open to both Poe and the red coming up behind, and getting Jess off the board is not enough, especially if you're going to lose. You've got Poe trailing you.
So this is so what do you think here? This is a pretty clear decision point for Cameron. I mean, Chirpy is committed. Chirpy's going to be going after Jess no matter what, right?
Yep. He's doing a 3 hard.
These TIE fighters, but he's stressed and has out the side arc, so I could just see a 1 bank here, right? Clear that stress and open up your dial. But the TIE fighters could go either way, right? They could 2 hard turn in after Jess, or they could 1 hard turn and 2 bank, and come in to try to screen Poe off. What do you think is the right answer here?
I think because you need to get both of them, and I hate splitting the fire, but I do think you send Shiranu in after Jess, and then you get the blocks, and then you only need 1 on Poe. So if you got two shots coming in,
yeah.
Another
very good target actually that we're not talking about is Rose. There's a ship right in front of Cameron that will be stressed and will not have her pilot ability and only has 3 hull.
Yep, and you're going to get 2, very easily you get 2 range 1 shots into her.
Yeah. On the other hand, only 27 points, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, barely.
All right, Cameron, choosing to come in hard here towards Poe, and Poe being the very clear target because he is not going to be able to hit Rose, but he clips that debris and takes a stress, which, and then
that's also.
Oh no! And you can tell that 2 hard turn was specifically so that he wouldn't bump. So that's extremely unfortunate for Cameron. Every time he has done that, he has wished he had those actions. Charles, not getting the horrible luck twice in a row, is going to get her off of that debris and be able to clear stress the next turn. And just start popping damage through on rack. Red Squad veteran doing that 1 bank and just going to have a very, very nice shot there on some of those TIE fighters. I think he's going to have a range 1 shot on that 1 health TIE fighter with absolutely no mods to speak of. And it looks like
get that shot off before they're going to get to shoot at Poe.
Exactly. So he's just going to say, you know what, I'm just going to target lock you. I'm going to kill you. So very fortuitous there for Charles. And then we'll see Jess doing that 2 bank we talked about. Clearing that last stress, focusing. I said focusing. Cool. And Chirpy, what do we got? Yep, there's that 1 bank, clearing that gas cloud, and will get a shot in on Jess.
If the arc rotated around to the side there, I was 3 would have been great, but it didn't clear the stress.
Right.
Not only that, but the arc wasn't there. So yeah, the 1 bank, obviously easy move there.
So he's going to take an offensive mod of some kind. He's not getting shot here, so there's really no point to the reinforce. Focus or target lock, you just want to pick right. He's going to look for a target lock. He's got Jess at range 3 there. And he's gonna take that lock. He really, ideally, for Cameron to recover his place in this game, he needs to take Jess off the board here.
So this shot, that way he can get back down to the other side of the board.
Right. You've got, let's say, 4 more turns in this game. ideally, you take Jess off the board right here, uh, and then you can circle back around to take Rose or Poe off of the board and start racking up those points in the end game.
Right, because a too hard should put you right into a great spot to kill to put some more damage into Rose because she's not going anywhere.
Right. Poe just too hard turning in, thinking about his actions, thinking about whether or not he wants to use his pilot ability to stress himself. And I would guess probably won't. We'll probably just take the focus. Yeah, and that's what he's doing. So he's just going to take a focus, and then he's going to look for a shot here. Probably thinking about just taking yellow off the board, although he might just look to soften up red here. He's not going to get outmaneuvered no matter what.
Right.
Okay. So that shot, fortunately for Cameron, not doing much of anything, but let's be honest, even if Charles had rolled to 3 paint with those focuses, he was not going to spend that focus token. So no real surprise there, that Poe shot not doing much.
There's 3 from Chiranu on the Jess.
That's what he needs, and he needs some blanks, but he does not get them. Just going to completely evade all damage there, and that is not what Cameron needs. So because of that, he's now Cameron's starting to hope that maybe next turn he kills Jess. But to do that, and he doesn't have any. The thing is, he doesn't have any great moves to get Jess in arc next turn, which means he might have to spend his action on arc rotation. And it just gets increasingly difficult turn after turn. Okay, we're going to see Charles go on in on this yellow, range 1. He just needs to deal 1 damage. That's not a great start to it, but he does have a target lock. I don't see what that bottom one is. Is that just 2 hits?
Eyeballs. 2 eyeballs.
All right, 2 hits, 2 eyeballs, and just not enough for Cameron. He will lose that yellow tie.
Very unfortunate for Cameron. That's a second shot on Poe that he's not going to get in there.
Right, and I think that was the only unobstructed shot on Poe. So it looks like Cameron might just choose this red squad veteran instead, although that guy's only down 1 shield. Or he's going for the Hail Mary on Poe, and I don't think that's the right call. He's got that focus token.
Rolled over on the second blink.
Yeah, that was actually almost that I was almost having to eat my words right there. Anything can happen, but I think though if you had managed to deal a little bit more damage, you would have actually had a mod to do some re-rolls on that red squad veteran. You could have taken him to half in 1 shot and racked up some points.
So I think Charles here has a real good opportunity to just blow by this TIE fighter and send all 4 at Chiranu. He's not going to get there this turn, but this TIE fighter is not going to get back into a good spot until all 4 of them have converged on Chiranu.
Right. That TIE fighter, I think, by and large, is now out of this game. He's gonna do a blue this turn, right? But he won't be in a position to shoot at anybody. He'll have to turn around the next turn, and by then it'll be game over. Everybody will be on the other side of the board.
You've got four guns at Chiranu.
Right. So the red squad veteran probably doing a 2 bank just to get back over there. Poe, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 2 or 3 bank come out of him. Rose, just a lazy bank, blue bank. I mean, yeah, you said it right. All Charles has to do to win this game is just very lazily start pointing all of his ships at Chirpy.
And how this would have changed if he had gotten Jessica off here, because then he can bring Chiranu back to the fight.
Right.
Instead, he's got to float out into that black space out there.
Right.
Leaving himself open.
So what do you think from Jess here? Do you 2 hard turn? Close your dials, close your S foils, 2 hard turn, focus barrel roll, look for the bump.
So in this 4 and in situation now where you're MOV doesn't matter.
Right.
I think absolutely, because if you get that shot in, actually, never. You know what? Chernu's going to shoot first. So, um, yeah, get in there and get the bump. So too hard. If Cameron does a one bank though, I think you're going to eat it.
Yeah. And I think the one bank or the two hard turn is most likely what we're going to see. Cameron
And
deciding that he is okay keeping that TIE fighter stressed as long as he gets to shoot more. And he's
maybe
just going to
double stress.
3 hard turn,
Oh, he is.
take the double stress,
Yeah.
but not a crit. Rose doing that one bank. No reason why not to. You pretty much know where Rack's going to be. And just going to take that focus. Yep, that 2 bank. Yeah, so, I mean, Charles, at this point, his moves are very predictable. He just needs to very lazily go in towards Rack, and there's nothing stopping him from doing that at this point.
Right, we're gonna see 5, 6, 7 damage.
Haha!
Very nice.
But he's keeping his S foils open, so he's just going to boost and go for that bump. And yeah, Rack doing that 2 hard turn and getting bumped by Jess. Very good call by Charles.
Rack should take that stress. Yep.
Yeah, he'll get the Dauntless. He'll take. Looks like he's taking a focus token. He just doesn't have any good shots, really. Poe's going to swing in here on that 3 bank.
Wow.
Very much avoiding getting bumped just barely. And if he stays
There
right
is,
where he is...
2 pixels. I'm counting 2
Oh
pixels.
my god. I was worried about that. Charles with all of the confidence in the world just going for it. And very good too, because even if he had bumped, he's got a gas cloud between him and Chirpy. And Chirpy's got what? 9 health to go. That's probably going to be significantly reduced this turn. But let's say this too. We're talking like Charles basically has this in the bag. And I think he's definitely on top. He's about to have Chirpy. That's going to give him another 45 points on top of his existing 88 to essentially double Cameron's score. But it's not over because that TIE fighter's still in the game. Chirpy's still here. You're not going to kill him that easily. Chirpy evading thanks to the gas cloud, that shot from Poe. That's pretty nice there. Chirpy can still turn here and just wipe Poe off of face of the earth. That is still doable.
So I think Chernu takes a shot at Rose here.
You think? I don't see any good targets for Chirpy. Rose has a focus and a defensive reroll, and everybody else has range 3 gas clouds.
And Poe's got a focus also.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know what I wouldn't do? Spend my focus as Chirpy.
Yes.
You might actually want that. So he's going to shoot Rose.
Rose.
Which is just, let's be honest. Rose wasn't taking any damage from that shot anyway, only rolling 2 hits. It's just salt in the wound when you roll the 2 you already needed.
Not having rolls.
Right. Rose is going to shoot back, easily deal 2 damage, and that is going to be half right there on Chirpy. Yeah, how's that saying go? If you have all the mods in the world, you don't actually need any of them.
That's right.
That's what I always used to tell my opponents when I would roll that like Vessery FCS outmaneuver crap back in 1.0. I had a target lock and focus. I was going to get 3 hits anyway. That's just why
You just saved yourself a roll.
Exactly. I was trying to be nice to my opponents.
Mine was always the opposite. It's Whisper, Cloaked, range 3 through a cloud with an evade token, and roll blanks.
2 hits coming in on Chirpy from the red squad. He's going to get 1 evade and take 1 more damage. So Chirpy 6 health now. Chirpy could die this next turn. And there's still time on the clock. So, with that being the end of the round,
Yeah.
yeah, we've got 3 rounds left to go. So that TIE fighter is going to get back in this. And Chirpy is going to be alive for at least one more round. Though, honestly, I don't see Chirpy surviving much beyond this.
Right. I think he's gonna get and then the lower PS guys are gonna kill him.
Yeah. One of the issues that Chirpy's going to have to reckon with this turn is the way I've talked about this in previous streams, but the way Reinforce works is it's only fore and aft. It's only front and back. You can't reinforce starboard or reinforce port.
Right.
So to take full advantage of Reinforce and Rack's pilot ability, you really want to have your arc pointed forward and back. Because what Rack really wants to do this turn probably is 2 hard turn to the left and point out the back and reinforce out the back and say, all right, chase me, deal little damage through my reinforce.
And I'll get my mods.
Exactly.
Instead, because of where he's pointed, I would.
Yeah, and so this is the problem.
He's close in his action.
I think the best thing he can do is like one action if he gets blocked. And Cameron just has not been getting what he needs this game in terms of reinforcing Rack. I think he's maybe reinforced twice this game, and a lot of that has just been situational based on the state of the board.
Yep.
But he really needs those reinforces to slow down that damage, and he's just not getting it. But that TIE fighter, it's stress. He'll probably just one hard turn. He just wants time on target. And yeah, all of Cameron's ships, one straight. You know, Jess, I could see K turning. You K turn or Talon roll, and it doesn't matter that you're stressed. You've got mods because, hey, your friends are back and you didn't die yet. That Red Squad veteran finally gets to be able to 1 straight or 2 straight and clear the stress. If he 2 straights, that would open Poe up to be able to 1 bank. And Rose can just 1 straight or 1 bank and have a free, clear shot if she doesn't bump Rack.
Pretty much, yeah. She's either gonna get the bump or the free shot. You know, just all the room in the world there.
Yeah, this, as anybody who's ever played Resistance or Rebels knows, this is the ideal situation for you, where there's literally nothing stopping you from just 1 straighting towards the opponent. You don't have to really worry about blocking yourself. You have those slow moves available to you. All right, the Academy Pilot just going to 1 hard turn. What else can you do, really?
Just throw 2 dice at the opponent. Hope something sticks.
Yeah, and maybe they'll be stressed. Who knows? Rose going to choose that 2 hard turn. Definitely looking for that bump, and then the 3K next turn.
Yeah, that shuts down the 1 bank from Cheranu and the 2.
Yeah, it might shut down the 2 hard turn as well.
And she's gonna jam here.
Jam is a very smart move by Charles. You know Rose isn't going to shoot. It does shut down your K turn, but it also shuts down a lot of Chirpy's ability to kill anybody this turn. That 2 hard turn by Jess is a surprise.
She may think not getting shot at or forcing Cheranu to rotate that arc, and she's actually going to get a shot on red at this point.
I think this is Charles. I think this is Charles being aggressive. This is Charles saying, I'm definitely going to kill Rack. There's no chance I'm not killing Rack, but I'm not content just killing Rack. I'm going for that TIE fighter too.
Get all 200.
Yeah, he wants every bit of Cameron's list. He's not going to sit there and just let a little bit go. And Jess, getting that focus, will be getting at least 2 rerolls, possibly 3. And Poe just saying, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Bye.
All right. I guess I'm a little bit surprised about that. So I think by doing that, Charles has essentially sealed Cameron's fate here in this game. You know, if Cameron can't kill Poe, I don't think Cameron can pick up enough points to take this back.
No, he'll need to get all 3 of the ships, and I don't think no.
Yeah. So he runs in. He takes a range 1 shot on Jess, trying to take her off the board, but
Still,
probably because of that very smart jam play, gets no damage whatsoever. A big story of this game, unfortunately, is that, you know, Charles has generally had the mods when he needed them, and Cameron has not.
yeah, for the most part, that's definitely it. I think the one really big misplay in the second round of engagement where Cameron took the evade rather than the focus.
Oh, that evade is going to haunt Cameron.
Because that was a dead Poe.
Yeah, that would have changed this entire game. And it just goes to show, that's 2 more damage, I think, and then a crit on Rack. What was that crit?
That one is it's a hull breach. Oh man, that's the worst one. And just he's down to 4 hull, and they're going to be crits the rest of the way.
Is it 4 or 3?
1, 2. He's got 8 damage so far, and he's got 12 total. So 4 more to go.
Okay. Yeah, hull breach, not very good. But this TIE fighter is going to swing for the fences here. I don't really know what at. Jess still has her charge.
I think he already took the shot and blanked out.
Oh, and he blanked out. Oh, no. I guess I would have shot Rose just to get some points, but oh well. Yeah, this is unfortunately very solidly in Charles's camp here. There's really, I don't think at this point. Let's talk Hail Marys here.
Sure.
There's 2 turns left in the game, right? Rack's
so
still alive.
Has to be You've got to get Jess. So Jess is one of them.
Jess is one of them. Jess nets you 25 more points. Cameron is behind by 69 points. So Jess nets you 25. That puts you down to 44 points that you need to get.
You've got to get both. You've got to get all 3 of the ships on this side of the board.
You know, someone from chat who's better at math can do this for me. I think if you take Jess off the board and you take the red squad vet off the board without going to half on the tie or losing Chirpy, you're ahead on points. Because the red squad is 45 points, Jess is 26. That's 71 points. If you do that, you're ahead.
Okay. Right. And can't take the 1 more damage on the TIE fighter.
Right. Rose is so cheap that she's insignificant, essentially. So you have to take Jess off the board right now. You have to PS kill Jess with Rack.
So Charles knows that. Is he going to? He probably knows that. Is he going to bump Jess on purpose into Chernu? Maybe a 2 bank so that Chernu's just going to bump right into her.
I mean, that would be really interesting.
Something that way.
I see Jess 1-straighting and focusing.
Yeah, just to kill the red.
Yeah, and you've got those defensive rerolls. If you can manage not to get blocked, you'll have a focus 2. You're not 1 health away from dead. you know, especially, I mean, let's be honest, is Rose going to do anything other than one straight and jam Chirpy again? You know, that worked extremely well for him last turn. It's going to work just as well for him this turn. Yeah, there's that one bank. Okay, well, Charles.
Either way, it's still going to be range 1 for the jam.
Yeah, and he's just going to take that stress right after again to jam. Why would you do anything else? That's such a good move here. And Chirpy just not going to get any actions for the rest of the game. Chirpy, yeah,
bump Rose again, so he won't get to shoot her.
Yeah, but whatever. The TIE Fighter coming in pretty quickly. Still has a stress token, so still not going to have any mods. And Jess just one straighting and getting that focus token, probably. He's clearly looking to finish Chirpy off this turn. And then he can kind of Talon K behind that TIE Fighter and take him off the board next turn, is probably what Charles is thinking. I really think he thought he was going to get more shots on Chirpy last turn.
Well, Red is going to get that range 1 shot into... now it's a little bit less, but that range 1 shot into Jess could take her off the board, but that's after she's punished Cherno.
Right. There's exactly 2 shots this turn, right? One of them is Chirpy into Jess, and one of them is the Academy into Jess.
Yep.
But
hopefully they'll finish off the job that they've been trying to do for so long now.
Maybe, but let's talk about how ungodly important it is for Cameron's chances in this game to take Jess off the board with a natty roll here.
Right.
If he does not do that, Chirpy is not guaranteed dead, but it's not impossible.
And again, being able to have a different target for next turn to give yourself a chance to win.
Right. And Poe coming in here and actually getting an outmaneuver shot on that TIE Fighter.
Could seal the deal here with getting 1 damage in.
Well, no, in terms of points, yeah, actually that might not. I don't want to redo my calculations. Please don't make me. But that might be enough. But we'll see. He doesn't have any mods, but who needs them when you roll 2 hits and a crit there? And that's going to be 1 crit coming through on that TIE Fighter. If that's a direct hit.
It is a weapons.
Oh, God. Poor Cameron.
On the 1 going into Jess. So Chernu probably into Jess. Actually, only shot into Jess here.
Yeah. All right. Cameron hoping to roll just as well as Poe did just now. He's unfortunately behind enough that he has to ask dice to do something for him. And as always, when you're begging your dice to do something for him, you're not getting anything at all. He got a reroll for some reason. I don't know why. Hey, oh my God, Charles. He's winning this game anyway. His incredible rolls this turn are not serving to do anything other than rub salt in the wound.
All 4 pilots will be coming home tonight.
Well, yeah, probably.
So far.
Okay, well, he's even. His dice are evening out here a little bit. Jess, re-rolling all of them. Did he have a target lock?
One off.
Is that a blinded pilot?
That is a blinded pilot.
All right. What's Chirpy down to now?
He has taken 9 holes, so he's got 3 left.
All right, but still alive. Hey, you know, blinded pilot would usually be really bad, except that Chirpy's never going to get another action for the rest of the game, so who cares?
Hit crit going into Jess.
Yeah, that could do it, actually. And,
Roll.
oh. Wait, did we have that wrong? I think we had that wrong. I think the Jess was the one leading and the expert was following. Can you confirm that?
That is correct. Sorry,
Okay.
Jess is the first time.
So this whole time we were talking about it, and it was never possible in the first place because Rack bumped Jess. My bad, you guys. very even smarter play there by Charles, getting
That's
the
even what I was even talking about. Just had the wrong ships mixed
yeah,
up.
yeah. All right. Well, clearly this is all Charles's fault for having very similar colors there on his colored bases.
That's right.
You know, actually, yeah, orange. All four of them are shades of orange and yellow. All right. Okay. Well, whatever. So
Brown, yellow. Yep.
yeah. All right. It's fine. It's fine, you guys. So this is the last turn. There's nothing to do for this but be the last turn. And unfortunately, Cameron just increasingly not getting what he needs. He hasn't had an action really on either of his ships in maybe 4 turns now, and you can tell his damage output has. I don't think he's done damage in 4 turns either. Maybe just that one shield.
Right. He's had the one hole to get through, probably the 2 hole to get through on Jess. The one on Poe, but naked dice without mods is part of the game. You gotta fly it right to make sure that you got your mods and
Right. Unfortunately, it's not happening.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a rough go. Does Cameron even have a Hail Mary available to him here?
I still think taking Jess. No, because taking Jess off and getting the red squadron
It's
doesn't
no longer enough.
right because that 11 points that they got off of the TIE
Right.
fighter.
Yeah.
So Rose needs to fly off the board.
Yeah, right. He needs to kill Jess in one shot with the Academy pilot, and then deal fuel leak direct hits to the Red Squad vet, and then also fly Rose off the board. So this is basically over at this point. They're gonna go for MOV or just to play it out as they do.
So one of the very first tournaments I watched Charles in. Charles is actually the one who got me into X-wing. I went and watched him at a mothership tournament, and I showed up, and he was sitting on the end table. So I thought, cool, I can sit back and watch. And the very first turn that I ever watched him play, he flew a ship off the board. It was turn 1 or 2 of the tournament, and the opponent just stared at him and was like, "Well, there's points."
What was
And I'm like,
the ship?
I don't remember exactly, but I do want to say that it was Han or
Right,
I mean, it was a
large base, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And that was my first 1 or 2 rounds of X-wing I ever saw was Charles flying the ship off the board and just mouth open and oh my goodness, what did I do?
Well, that TIE fighter just giving up the ghost and running away eclipsed the gas cloud on the way out for good measure. Rose one-straightening, trying to continue the chain here of catching Rack with Jam, but might just be a micron out this time. Just because of all the bumps.
Yep.
Nope, but he gets it. He does get it. So Rack will finish out the game with absolutely no actions. Jess, just one banking, looking for that block again, trying not to die. And probably just take a focus there for defense, yeah. And the red squad just one banking too. So Charles completely fine with being in a... Oh my goodness.
Well, he might get a shot on Poe here. Oh, he's not going to get the...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is. That's
so
the one...
Clearly going for Poe there. But in the process, put himself at range 1 of 2 X-Wings and ensured that Chirpy will die.
Well, he rotated his arc, so I think he's going to go ahead and try to kill Jess.
Right.
Because that is the one action that he can keep.
Yeah, Poe is not going to be in his firing arc. But Poe will get to shoot at Chirpy.
He's just going to try to take one off on his way out.
Why not? Yeah, we've said this game is over, but, as anybody who's played X-Wing knows, even when you're losing, especially if you haven't managed to kill a ship yet, you want to take something off the board on your way. You don't want it to be that they kept everything. So Poe is going to take that range 3 onto Chirpy. He's got a focus token. He has a... Does he have that? Is that his target lock?
It's his target lock too.
Yeah.
And there's still a hull breach, so anything that goes through is going to be crits.
Yeah, exactly. And he will get 2 hits and a crit, but like you said, everything's crits anyway. That is going to be 1 evade, so 2 crits.
We've got weapons failure and loose stabilizer.
Good lord.
So he's completely crippled now.
And with all of 1 health to go, he's going to roll into Jess and get exactly 1 hit for his trouble. That's not going to be nearly enough to do any kind of damage with Jess's rerolls and focus token. And those double blanks from Charles. But again, Charles has all of these mods, and he's going to use that to get a full new defense roll and get 2 evades. Yeah. All of these mods, that's what's been putting Charles up at the top in this game. And he's going to look to finish it here on this last turn. He's not going to get to table Cameron. That TIE fighter ran away. But he's going to take Rack off the board here, guaranteed with a double crit. And that is just game right there.
And Jess, who survived for so long, still on the board.
Yeah.
I believe that's it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Poe, man, those first couple of turns were so knife's edge for Charles. Poe is running away with 1 health, Jess running away with 2 health. And then it feels like just nothing happened to him for half an hour.
Yep.
Poe got away. Jess got away.
Well, that was a thing.
Hey, guys. Hey, Cameron.
Howdy.
Well, that was a heck of a game to watch, you guys.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for streaming it, guys.
Let's start. I think so. First of all, congrats, Charles. You flew a heck of a match there, and there was a lot of time where you were just sitting on knife's edge. You want to talk to us about your approach to this game?
Yeah. So I just kind of feel like the TIE fighter thing. It's scary, but if you can get some TIE fighters killed, then over the course of the whole match, they'll be doing less damage for you. You'll be taking shots away. Yes, you're going to be giving the TIE fighters mods, but if you can use obstacles, etc.
It's also only 2 die attacks.
It's only 2 die attacks, and also I just think all of my ships except for really Rose, she does have a barrel roll that's red, but the rest of them are maneuverable and they're higher initiative than the one. So if I can kill some specific, academy pilots, make the right moves there, get the ones that actually have shots on me, take those out, reduce the total number of shots. I think that's the way to do it. I could be wrong, but that's my strategy with it.
Right, yeah, you popped 2 of those TIE fighters on that very first turn.
Yeah, that was a heck of a thing right there.
I think we were surprised because Poe was in a good spot to not be stressed, and then all of a sudden he's got 3. I don't know if expected to take one off there, but it really changed. It actually changed at that point to a really good spot for Cameron because you ended up right in front for a couple really big shots. Got a lot into Poe there.
Yeah.
Yep. Poe was scared the whole game, probably. Pretty much after turn 3.
Yep.
Yeah, that was rough there, and we were just sitting there asking, is this the turn that Poe dies? Is this the turn that Poe dies? And it just never seemed to happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had some key decisions there with Poe. What maneuvers would he do? Because I have R4 though, which is an advantage, I guess, versus another list. All the 1s and 2s are blue, including the 2 hard.
Right.
And I think the biggest decision for me, or the hardest decision I had the whole game, was when Poe was over here by this cloud,
Right.
and he had two TIE fighters sitting there. What was I going to do?
Yeah.
But since I saw that he was obstructed, I just focused, didn't target lock. And my hope was between me and Red, who was down there, we could take one of those TIE fighters out. We did. But that was, to me, that was the most, that's the scariest place Poe was in the whole game.
Yeah, agreed. No, we were on the edge of our seats there for that one. Well, Cameron, how about you? What did you think about this one?
I mean, once this list starts hitting things with 4 or more ships, with at least 4 shots with passive double mods, then that list could start killing TIE fighters consistently. This list kind of really suffers from it.
Yeah, it felt like you were pretty dominant in the first couple of turns, and then
after that, I just couldn't get a good hit in.
Yeah.
After that ever again.
Yeah, you started
There was
losing your mods, and you started losing your good mass fire, and it
Well, then
was-
even when I rolled well naturally, just here's 3 of AIDS, no damage.
Yeah.
Here's 4 of AIDS, no damage. I mean, that's kind of what happens when I roll good. It's just it doesn't matter because I rolled better.
Yeah, we were talking. We felt that there was a big point in the game that was a turn. It was that evade you took on that TIE fighter coming in towards.
Oh yeah,
Poe.
100%. I just need to hole punch that off my ships.
Yeah, we were imagining what the difference it would have made if that had been a focus instead and a dead Poe.
Probably a decent one, just because now that's one ship I don't have to care about.
Right, and one less ship to chase after.
One less ship I can shoot, get 2 hits, and not do damage against.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Jess, of course, is just a monster. Rose is just a monster for defense, as always.
It's just an incredible value for those ships. Just the passive double mods with really no required input beyond put your ships in the right spot, and not even bullseye or anything like that. Just have ships between Rose and the thing shooting at her, or have ships at range 1 of Jess, and they get their mods.
Yeah.
It's incredibly hard to chew through, just because you shoot Jess. Okay, she's re-rolling. If she didn't spend a focus, she's re-rolling with a focus token. You shoot Rose, he's re-rolling both of her green dice. If you shoot the red,
Right.
well, you're not putting damage into Jess or Rose, and they're going to continue getting really nice double modded shots off you.
Right,
And
and the
Rose
way
is
that
so
the
cheap
designers, she's 26 points, which
Yeah.
is stupid.
Why would you
She's
even
undercosted.
shoot Rose in the first place?
yeah,
To
No
take
other
Jess
shot.
off the board, you need that mass fire, which I just don't think you were able to get after that first
No,
couple of
like I
turns.
said, once this list flies into 4 or more ships, it just doesn't do well.
Hmm.
Because that means that's 4 ships firing back at TIE fighters.
Right.
And unfortunately, TIE fighters don't have multiple passive mods.
Right. Yeah,
and
they're
they
a little
die to
cheap for
mass
that.
fire. Well, I mean, Rose is 4 points more than a TIE fighter.
All right. Well, we'll talk. all
Right,
we want
that's
about
what's
Rose.
wrong with her. She's I3, and she's I3, and her ability's stupid. And the way that they worded it, where it's when she's getting shot, all the ships in her arc, so that even gives you flexibility with formation, because like where she is on the board right now, if she were to have 3 dice, she could re-roll them on defense. Where Rack was, it's the way that they wrote it.
Basically, the only way you can deny Rose or mods is either the other guy completely messes up and puts in the wrong direction on their dial, or you kill everything else on the list.
Yeah, it's
Right,
it's
and-
one of those things that's a little difficult. It's one of those things that looks, I
Mhm.
think, you play it and you go, oh, this is limiting to me. But there's not better. I don't think there's a lot of better filler in this game than just slapping Rose on the board with crack shot.
No, I agree.
No.
I
Well,
agree. It,
Again,
yeah.
just cheap passive mods
Yeah,
is the big thing right now in X-Wing in general. I mean,
and
Force,
that definitely worked
a lot of
for
the Resistance pilots.
that definitely worked.
and
for
I don't know if jam mattered in this game,
it
but
did absolutely it did.
The last couple of rounds, yeah, that killed Rack.
It definitely stopped Rack from killing Jess on that one shot.
Mhm.
He rolled like 4 dice on that range 1 to Jess, and it was like 1 hit and 3 focuses. Jess would have been
Right.
dead if you hadn't
Felt
jammed it.
good.
Yeah. So yeah, the
That-
story of that last couple turns was Cameron had no actions to speak of, and Charles had all of his mods.
Yeah,
Mhm.
losing those 2 ties in the beginning, I think, kind of cinched it. Losing the 2 ties and then not killing Poe is what really cinched it. I think at that point,
Yeah.
the game was just kind of.
Yeah, trading the 2 ties for Poe is something you do all day long.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Except when you don't actually trade those 2 ties for Poe, you just kill
Yeah.
the 2 ties.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I wanted
you're-
to see if Poe could actually be an arc dodging ace. And I don't know that I showed that this game because I mean he's got 7 freaking health.
Yep.
But
T70s are stupid tanky for their cost.
yeah,
All right. Well,
But-
well, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate you letting us stream. And Cameron, Charles, good luck with your next games.
Good job, guys.
good job. Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.
All right, and thanks to everybody for joining us for another stream game for Corona Cup 2. Feel free to take a look at our Twitch channel and YouTube channel. This game will be up there shortly. James, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mark. Had fun. Good night.
Good night. Talk to you later.